Hey guys, it's TC, and this is the last episode I'm going to be bringing you for a week about Wilfred Woes. This episode is going to be all about episode 3. We saw Wilfred and Ryan kind of, make amends in their last moment together. We saw Ryan betray Wilfred, Wilfred betray Ryan, but the two end up on a solid note. Now, episode 3 kind of starts off in a weird way, but we'll get into all of that in a little bit. But first, I want to remind you guys, please subscribe. We're trying to look for 50 subscribers to be able to live stream for you. We're going to be doing a giveaway at 50 subscribers as well, so make sure that you guys hit that subscription button so that you can be a part of it. As we grow nearer to that 50 subscriber mark, we'll get more into the details of that contest, but until then, make sure you just hit subscribe and make sure you have notifications turned on. But without further ado, let's dive into episode 3 of Wilfred. Now, in this episode, it starts off with Ryan at his front door, or Ryan at his garage, trying to pick up some barrels in front of his door, garbage cans, I should say. It's his neighbor's garbage can, the same neighbor who he robbed the other day. And he starts to get a little paranoid about it, and Wilfred kind of tries to dismiss it, but all these weird things start happening to Ryan. His feet turn into baby feet, the clock is spinning backwards, he pulls a tooth out of his mouth, and he goes, "That's weird, right?" And Wilfred goes, "Yeah, that doesn't happen until later." And Ryan's just like, "Later? What are you talking about?" But Ryan ends up waking up. We find out it's a dream, and Wilfred is at the door ready to go for a walk. Ryan gives him this bone as a gift. Wilfred says that this is a bad gift from Ryan, and Ryan is hurt by that. But the two go home. They do their thing that they do, the somewhat illegal, not illegal thing that a lot of states are making legal. And they go do that in the basement of Ryan's house, and they're just doing that. And all of a sudden, the beginning part of the episode starts to play again, and you're like, what the heck is this? Is Ryan a god or something? Like, how did he know that this stuff was going to happen? Like, literally verbatim, he recites that dream. The only thing that's different is the clock doesn't spin back, and he does not have any baby feet. So that's good. That's a step in the right direction. But the same events still occur. There's a knock at the door, and it is the neighbor that he thinks knows what he did, which is steal his plants. And now the neighbor has come to confront Ryan over stealing the plants. And Ryan tries to play it off. He's like, "Oh, they robbed me too. They stole my wallet. He took a dump in my Blu-ray player." And that's when the neighbor, who we find out is Spencer, goes, "He did that in my boot." And the two kind of bond. Ryan says, it looks like we're both victims here. And Spencer says, "I'm sorry for barging in." And Ryan makes the mistake of saying anytime. So Spencer goes home, and Ryan celebrates his victory, telling Wilfred, "I got rid of him, and I did it without fighting. So no need to do any of that stuff that you were trying to get me to do." But Wilfred is like, "Well, then why is he standing at the front door?" And Ryan's like, "He's not at the front door." And just as he says that, there's a knock on the door. And who is it? It is the one and only Spencer, and he is there to watch 4 straight hours of adult videos with Ryan at his house on his laptop. So Ryan is ecstatic, but the power on the laptop is dwindling, and Wilfred does the solid of finding the charger for the laptop so that Spencer and Ryan are able to watch adult videos all night long. But Ryan tries to get rid of Spencer, and just as it seems like it's going to work, Ryan has to then hurry Spencer out of the house, says he'll go to the, I don't know what you call those, adult dancing places, the place where women do those things and men pay them money, usually by throwing it or doing something like this. I'm sure you adults understand. You kids, don't worry about it. It's all right. You'll figure that out by the time you hit middle school. But anyway, they go to that place because Wilfred is starting to bring up the plants that he stole from Spencer, and Ryan needed to get Spencer out of there immediately. So the two hightail it over there. Wilfred starts dancing on a pole, and it's fantastic. You're loving the whole scene, especially when you're watching it with your lady's family, and all that comes on. So you just love that part of the episode, and nothing to complain about, nothing to worry about at all. So that happens, and Ryan is starting to realize that this is something he can't really handle anymore. He just wants it to be over and done with. And just as he's going to tell Spencer, hey, I'm the one who stole from you, I did all that, Spencer decides to tell him a story about this guy, Jesse. Now, Jesse is his old best friend who had adult relations with his mom and was a liar and a thief. And he basically hurt Jesse, and that is why they're no longer friends. So what did Ryan want to tell Spencer, he asks. And Ryan just, wimps out and says, that, and dodges the question. And the two go home, trying to extend the night. Spencer's like, I got a bottle of alcohol inside. You want to come in? Ryan's like, no, but Wilfred's like, absolutely. So then, to try to get Wilfred to come back to him, Spencer uses a laser pen and starts messing with Wilfred. So he's like, doing the traditional thing where the dog's like, how come I can't get this thing? And essentially, it drives Wilfred mad, especially when he loses sight of the red dot. Now, the next door neighbor, who is Buddhist, I believe it is. I could be wrong, could be Hindu. I know it's one of those two with the dot on the forehead. It's an Indian woman. She comes outside to see what all this commotion's about right behind her house. And with that thing on her head, Wilfred mistakes it as the red dot and goes to get it and attacks the woman. Animal control is called, and it seems like Ryan is going to be able to get out of it by being able to pay off the animal control worker. However, that animal control worker turns out to be Jesse. And now Ryan needs to be able to try to convince Spencer and Jesse to make up so we could save Wilfred. And basically he has the two just understand each other's perspectives. Each one of them are set in their ways of, I didn't do anything wrong. This guy is, overreacting, but each one of them feels offended. Each one of them is hurt. So that's something that the other needs to take into consideration. So the two end up making up, and Ryan is able to walk out of there with Wilfred. And it seems like the deed is done, There's no issue going on. Ryan got what he wanted. Spencer's got a friend to go watch that adult material with. So it all worked out, right? Well, Ryan and Wilfred enter Ryan's house, and there is Jesse and Spencer right on his couch doing the same thing they were doing hours earlier that had Ryan so disturbed. And Jesse goes to get the bottle of alcohol that's still at Spencer's place. And finally, Ryan is just snapping, just hearing the night that Spencer has planned. He's like, no, I'm done. I did those things. I pooped in your boots. I stole from you. I lied to your face, blah, blah, blah. And then Spencer's like, why would you do all these things? And Ryan goes on to explain, because you're a jerk. You're mean into the neighborhood. You put your GD trash cans and gets punched in the face. He ends up losing a tooth somehow, but in the later shots, it's like this part of his face that's like messed up. It's not even like his jaw. It's his cheekbone and like eye socket area that has like this ginormous bruise on it. But he gets punched squared in the face, knocked to the ground. But Wilfred is there to save him with the giant bone in his hand, whacks him on the head. Spencer goes down like a bag of bricks, and Ryan is okay, but he did, in fact, lose that tooth. So then Jesse comes back and is like, and then Ryan's like, or Wilfred tells Ryan what to say, and he's like, you got 10 seconds to get your friend out of here, or the same thing's going to happen to you. and some other malarkey along the way. Thank you, Joe Biden, for that word. And, all that malarkey going on. And basically, Wilfred takes it a step too far, saying that all the people that go to his funeral, he's going to, hurt extremely, and then go to their funerals and hurt all the people that are at their funerals extremely. And it's just really graphic. And Ryan is like, absolutely not, dude. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that. But despite all of that, he's still able to get Jesse and Spencer out of the house. Wilfred got what he wanted, where Ryan had to confront Spencer in a physical confrontation, just not the exact type of physical confrontation Wilfred was talking about. It's that fantastic action that dogs like to partake in for no reason at all. Usually do it to your leg, but Ryan didn't want to do that. Ryan stuck to the fists and ended up taking them to the face. Luckily not in his butt, because we all know how he feels about stuff going that way. Shout out to his ex-girlfriend. But overall, this is a very great episode. Not my favorite, kind of annoying just because it's like uncomfortable as all heck, like knowing that that's what's going on a lot throughout the episode. It's like, why do people go to those places? Who wants to be watching that with their neighbor that they just met? Like, what the heck is this? It's so uncomfortable, but it just goes to show you the level of control that Ryan also has, because we kind of see him as this guy who has little self-esteem, doesn't really seem to have a backbone, seems to be mentally exhausted by the fact that he wanted to off himself. So to have him be able to withstand all of that for all those hours, I think really just speaks to the growth of the character of Ryan. He's not someone who's easily going to be pushed around. He's kind of more established in his head, in his physical prowess, especially at the end. You could see him. He gives a look to Spencer after that confrontation, and Spencer goes, okay, I got to move my trash cans now. And Ryan walks away smiling, knowing that him standing up to his bully, him forcing him to have that encounter, got Ryan the victory. Now, if Wilfred wasn't there, would it have gone the same way? Maybe not. But it's not for us to speculate and say, oh, this, that, or the other thing. The fact of the matter is that Ryan got respect from Spencer, and that's something that doesn't come cheap. In fact, it cost Ryan a whole tooth. But I'm going to leave that there for you guys. Make this episode a little bit shorter so you guys can digest these all in a 30-minute binge if you want. This has been TC with Wilfred Woes. We'll be coming back next week with some more episodes. See episodes 4, 5, and 6 maybe. We'll see how many we're able to do next week. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Any feedback you can give me would be superb. Trying to make this something that you guys want to watch. I know a lot of people love Wilfred, and I want to be able to do it justice. So if you guys got any suggestions, recommendations, things that you would want to see changed, let me know. I'll definitely address them. Try to make it something that we can all enjoy together and not just make it me shouting at a camera with nobody listening. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, and make sure you guys subscribe so we could get to 50 subscribers and live stream to you guys. This is Wilfred Woes, and I'm TC. See you next time.